just a perfect place to set you up for success.
I'd like to give you an inside look at one of our latest property offerings.
This flooring is from President Madison's house. They refurbished it and...
President Madison?
Yeah.
I am always blown away when I meet new salespeople, especially real estate agents, who post on Instagram once a month. They say, well, that's not really me. Well, then the job isn't really you.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about this show? It's totally unscripted.
Welcome back to Your American Dream. I say your because these are stories for you and by you. We're sharing positive stories week by week and hoping to make a lasting impact on the nation. Today we have an incredible adventure with co-hosts Craig Sewing and Tani Vargas. We're going to be exploring a property in Rancho Santa Fe with unprecedented entertainment value. Check it out.
We have an extra special surprise today because Jenna invited us out to Hacienda del Corazon.
House of the Heart.
Say it in Spanish. We're in San Diego.
Hacienda del Corazon.
That's so terrible.
I know, I sound so white. Which
more time.
I know what it means, the house, the heart of the house, house of the heart. My understanding is when we find it, it's going to be a
understanding is we were
massive
supposed to
estate.
take a right, like 6 rights ago, but that's okay.
Well, at least it's a nice neighborhood to be driving around.
Rancho Santa Fe. We get a horse arena.
That's right, Jenna did tell me we're going to get the ride of our life here, so I don't even know what that means. I imagine, hey look, there's a horse sign.
We're getting close.
Yeah, that's got to mean something.
I can feel the love.
I can feel the whiskey bar.
Hacienda del Corazon. You could smell the whiskey. I think it is.
Is it?
I see roses.
I see a awesome estate. Wow. Wow. Park here? I can't wait to go in.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Great time. Ready to show me around?
I thought you were showing me around.
Let's go.
That is an unbelievable property in Rancho Santa Fe, California. At 12,000 square feet, we were probably going to get lost, but before we do, we had an amazing interview with New York's Ryan Serhant, also the star of Bravo's $1 Million Listing, and he dropped some incredible knowledge on us. So get a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes only on The American Dream.
I'm Kara Kay with The American Dream. I get to meet with Ryan Serhant of $1 Million Listing. It's an exclusive interview and it's one you won't want to miss. Thank you again for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
With the wine in the wine room.
It couldn't be classier, in my opinion.
I know, it's very classy. I should have worn a tie.
So I know that you know the importance of TV and media. How important do you think that is in real estate today?
I think media is incredibly important in all businesses. I think any business that does anything for marketing in any way, shape, or form is now a media company. I mean, if you're a real estate brokerage like I am in New York City, we don't build the apartments, we don't build the buildings. We're not really real estate brokers, we're media brokers, right? I find different ways to market my properties via media. And so for me, television has been huge.
Sure, I think you of all people know the importance of getting exposure to listings, which is why you've gotten into TV and media. Now talk about the transition into how important it is to be social as well as on TV.
Yeah, I think that if you're a salesperson, right, which is what the book is for, is anybody who sells anything, you're really selling yourself, right? You're creating a relationship. You sometimes have to talk about the product. Sometimes you have to go into the price. Sometimes you have to go into the features. You need to have all that information, but that's what you need to do. That's the job, right? Everything else, especially through social media, especially through different forms of media, is building that relationship passively, right? This, you and I talking right now, is an active communication, building a relationship. Right. But I can hit so many more people through social, right, through YouTube, through LinkedIn articles. People talk about passive income all the time. For salespeople and for a lot of people in our generation, kind of the gig generation, we have passive relationships are passive income, because those will turn into other sources of work for us down the line, and we just don't even know what they are.
If you are talking to a realtor who really wants to make it tomorrow and in the future, what advice would you give them?
I am always blown away when I meet new salespeople, especially real estate agents, who post on Instagram once a month, who aren't doing anything on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitter, and they say, well, that's not really me. Well, then the job isn't really you. You can't sit there and complain about not having business, or sit there and complain about how the market's so tough, if you're not actively doing things that are under your control. And what's under your control is putting out media. There's so many different places to absorb content these days, and so many real places to hit real people, to target them directly in your neighborhood, on your block, like that age group. It's all about consistency.
Are you ready to cheers to your book and all your success?
Sure.
Okay.
Are we drinking this?
Yeah, I mean,
are we chugging
I know
it?
nothing about wine.
So we're cheersing to the American Dream?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that again.
Okay.
So it's like for real.
Okay, cheers.
All right.
To the American Dream.
It doesn't get any better than Ryan Serhant. I mean, there is a reason why millions of people follow him every single week. We're lucky to have him on the show. And right now, we're gonna go back to Rancho Santa Fe and see what Craig and Tawny are up to. Check it out.
Now this is an estate. This is an entertainer's dream. Tawny, can I saddle up with you?
Sure.
In this full bar?
Have you ever seen an estate with its own saloon?
No, I've never been in a place like this. This flooring is from President Madison's house. They refurbished it and...
President Madison?
Yeah. So like from his house, this flooring from his house is now in this pad that we're sitting right now in front of this bar.
Well, I think I'm feeling a little presidential.
Yeah?
So I think this calls for a shot.
Shot, cocktail, shot, right, let's do it. We wouldn't be doing this bar justice if we didn't take a shot.
Well, I'm feeling classy, so how about the bad stuff?
All right, coming right up. 2 shots of bad stuff.
It's a classic.
Here I have your bad stuff. So I'm gonna pour us a couple shots, but I mean, could you imagine hosting a party here? This could serve hundreds of people.
And if this is your house, you're gonna be the most popular kid, and I promise you, everybody's gonna come party at your house.
Well, this is a great place to host them.
A few more of these, I think you'll be dancing on that stage over there.
I might get on that stage. Depends how we have to get along with the horse arena a little bit later, though.
Oh, yeah?
Check that out later. Do some things out there, have some fun.
Something?
Yeah,
Let's have
do
some
something.
fun.
It ain't my first rodeo.
In the midst of the darkest night,
Hacienda del Corazon is a classic property in Rancho Santa Fe.
chains that were holding me. You sent your son down to set me free. Everything
This property was originally constructed around the same idea of lifestyle that Rancho Santa Fe was founded on, and that is a simpler and a slower lifestyle.
Every time I walk through this house, I see another detail that blows my mind, but my favorite part about the home is that there's this incredible indoor-outdoor space that is accessible in every room. Living in Southern California and having so many beautiful sunny days, it's wonderful to be able to have all of your doors and windows open.
Floors from President Madison in your own private saloon. These are the sorts of things that I didn't even know I wanted until I saw them. This is an amazing way to entertain, but right now we're going to check out how they entertain in your city.
How's it going, everybody? My name's Scott Goshorn with Rodeo Realty Beverly Hills, and I'm very excited to show you my new listing in Marina del Rey. The west side, the beach communities have been blowing up and revitalized with Silicon Beach. There's over 500 tech companies that have been launched with startups. It's really blowing up the area. Now, before I show you my listing, it is 6 a.m. here, and we're going to hit a very, very local coffee shop that's only open every once in a while, and it's quite off the beaten path. So how did this become the Buoy Cafe?
There's a small group of us that would come out and do a swim, and we're in the ocean one day. We kind of thought it'd be nice if somebody could deliver us some coffee. So that's where it started.
And then we just announced, and people come. Yeah, so we both swam the Catalina Channel, which is roughly a 21-mile swim from the island of Catalina to the mainland of Palos Verdes, each raising money for a separate cancer. So I did it for pancreatic cancer, and he did it for leukemia. So we combined, I think we raised nearly $75,000 for these two cancers. So hopefully crushing cancer one stroke at a time, and it's nice to have Buoy Cafe on the, on the Fridays when you're doing a long training session to swim on up and get some coffee and donuts to keep the motivation going.
Well, and they are downplaying it because they swam from Catalina to over here, 21 miles with no wetsuit, starting at midnight. You can't touch the side of the boat. Nobody can feed you. They actually have to throw you the food, and you can have to go nonstop. So what you guys did is pretty amazing, and congratulate you for it. It's just very inspiring. Having said that, is the Buoy Cafe open?
Just open.
All right, the Buoy Cafe is open. Awesome. I get a 5-star Yelp review in my book. Great coffee ambiance. Let's go check out my listing. That was great. Very excited to show you this listing today at 3807 Via Dolce in Marina del Rey. Because of Silicon Beach, over the last decade, this area has been blowing up. There's a lot of redevelopment in apartments, condos, mixed use. So let's go inside, take a look at this great listing, and can't wait to show it to you. So this listing is 4 beds, 4 baths, 3,891 square feet. I love when you come in through the entry, you go up the stairs, and there's a huge living room with 14-foot ceilings. You've got the dining room, kitchen in the back. You've got a patio here that overlooks the Venice canals. The property itself, they did amazing work on the finishes. It's got a nice European feel with a little beachy vibe, which is fitting for the marina. So we've got a great dining room. I love this table and chandelier right off the kitchen. Again, the kitchen has great custom cabinetry, monogram appliances, quartz countertops, stainless steel throughout. On the canal, a block from the beach, literally a block from all the restaurants. It's just a perfect place to set you up for success. Wow, so we've got a great master here. You've got huge 14-foot ceilings, monster walk-in closet, great master bath, fireplace, balcony overlooks the Venice canals. So that concludes our tour of 3807 Via Dolce in Marina del Rey. I'm Scott Goshorn with Rodeo Realty Beverly Hills, and I'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm John Kane with Pacific Sotheby's International Realty in Newport Beach, California. Today on this episode of American Dream, I'm going to give you an inside look at one of Southern California's most exclusive seaside communities, Crystal Cove. Let's take a look. Now, the second thing that really distinguishes this community is its amenities base. For starters, you have 24-hour guard-gated and patrolled security. You're within walking distance to the Crystal Cove State Park and beach. And I think most importantly, you have access to an exclusive community center called the Canyon Club, where you'll find swim, tennis, fitness, and banquet facilities. It's unlike any other community in town. So now that I've familiarized you with Crystal Cove, I'd like to give you an inside look at one of our latest property offerings, number 2 Sea Glass. Let's take a look. located on the community's second smallest street and occupying an 18,000 square foot corner lot, this home offers nearly 7,700 square feet of luxurious, recently remodeled living. Let's take a look at the details. There are a few things that really strike me about this house, and the first is the architecture. From the columns to the archways to the numerous terraces and courtyards and patios, it's like you're transported to a little Mediterranean seaside village. Due to all the windows and doors in the adjacent courtyards, the home is just filled with a ton of natural light, just making it a real bright, fresh, and inviting atmosphere, perfect for small or large gatherings. And lastly, the attention to detail in the original construction and the recent remodel is just unmatched. I mean, everything from the solid core white oak floors to the statuary marble on the countertops, antique glass, custom cabinetry, the list goes on, but the attention to detail and quality can't be overstated. I hope you enjoyed today's tour of Crystal Cove and this amazing property. I'm John Kane. We'll see you next time.
Never been in a horse stable in California before. I've been in a lot of real estate, but nothing like this. This is cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I grew up on horses all my life, and this is honestly one of the coolest.
So Jenna is going to show us around, take us on some of these horses, but you know, I'm kind of noticing there's not any here. This thing could hold 7 or 8 of them, I think.
Yeah, it could hold you. You could live here.
I could live here. All right, well, you're the one who grew up in a barn. So what about these horses? All right, and there she is. Hey, Jenna.
Hi. I know. I promised you guys horses, and there are no horses here today. But the good news is the owners took them down to the Del Mar racetrack, and we have the whole place to ourselves, and I have something super exciting planned. We have 400 horses up at the garage.
400 horses in the garage. All right.
Check it out.
Let's check it out. All right.
So this is what I really wanted to show you, the toy garage.
What a garage, a lot of toys.
We have motorcycles, motorized bicycles,
Yep.
a classic Chevelle.
This is a beast. Now this is a nice car. I don't even want to touch it because I don't get my fingerprints on it.
But what you get to go out and have some fun with is this razor.
So this is the horses.
This is it.
So I get to drive this?
Go have fun.
All right. Can I bring Tawny with me?
Of course.
Wow.
Go rip it
All
up.
right. Let's go cruising this beast. I'm gonna go grab Tawny and we're gonna go tear it up.
Now, remember, be gentle. The owners aren't here.
All right, got it. Giddy up. Let's do this.
If you would take all the posters on my walls growing up as a kid and put all the cars together, it would be that garage. I mean, that property is absolutely amazing and something that dreams are made of. But right now, we're gonna check out your agent in your city.
Hey everyone, you're watching The American Dream. Today's topic, we're talking about commercial investments in the real estate world. And our guest today is none other than Joel Carlson, a realtor with MJC Real Estate out of Orange County. Joel, how are you doing today?
Everything's lovely. Just another beautiful day.
Just another beautiful day in Southern California, right? Can't complain.
Absolutely.
Well, talk about, for those viewers that haven't gotten the chance to know you yet, talk about your real estate background. What did that all stem from and how you got into real estate?
Well, it's kind of interesting. I went to Chapman University, and when I graduated, I decided I had to get into one of the 3 necessities. And those 3 necessities are food. Well, I'd sold hot dogs at the drive-in. I didn't like that. I knew that clothing was one of them. I'd sold men's clothing in the Circle in Orange. I didn't like that. So I figured my last chance at wealth and fame had to be real estate.
And real estate in general is just a broad spectrum of things, interesting avenues you can take in so many directions, right? In real estate, residential, commercial investment, but you've honed in quite successfully in the commercial investment side of things. Talk about how unique that is in the whole regard of real estate in general.
Well, you know, the American dream, and this is why I love this show, says you can have a wonderful life by doing certain things. And what we found out is based on our tax laws and the ownership of real property, you're able to take advantage of those kinds of things with the investments that you have. If you buy an apartment building, what I love is you have the tenants that are making the payments on your mortgage. As the value goes up, you can do one of two things. You can draw down from it, make it an income to yourself, and or you can go ahead and exchange it with a 1031 tax deferred exchange. We'll talk more about that in some of my upcoming shows, to gain more equity, get a larger piece of property, and not pay a dime's worth of tax.
That is true. You mentioned 1031 exchange, and as I said to you, I'm a real estate agent myself, and so the transactions I'm currently handling are investors who are doing the 1031 exchange. But for somebody who maybe wants to dive into the investment side of things, of real estate, it can be a little intimidating, let's face it, right? So what can somebody do to educate themselves, to maybe prepare themselves of an industry that it can be lucrative, but let's admit, you got to have a lot of knowledge to come into it too as well. So what can you say to maybe up-and-coming investors who want to dabble into the field that you've become successful in?
Right. One of the things that I always recommend is that they sit down and they get an idea of what their comfort level is. Some people are comfortable with apartments. Some people are comfortable with multi-unit industrial. Once you've determined what your comfort level is, then we establish a relationship so that we can go ahead and make sure we get from point A to point B in your career goals and development. When I started out, I sold a house to a young gentleman. About a year later, he contacted me and he said, "Can you help me buy a duplex?" Now, I hadn't done anything except real estate, homes. So I was like, well, sure. So I helped him buy this duplex, and then he asked me if I could manage it. From there, we 1031'd into a fourplex in the city of Orange. From there, we went into a 10-unit apartment building in Riverside. From there, we went into a 15-unit apartment building in Riverside. And then finally, with all the equity he had built up, we got into 126 units in San Bernardino.
Key there, start now or start never, right? And certainly hire a professional like yourself to help you along the way.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joel, for being on our show, and I'm sure we'll talk more with you in the near future about all your real estate advice and your expertise. Thanks for being on our show.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Diane. Have a great one.
You too. Thanks for joining The American Dream. We'll have more to come, and I'll talk real estate and business. Stay with us here on The American Dream.
Hey, Jason Risley with Maxim Real Estate Group. I've got an awesome remodeled home in the Lake Forest Keys. This one's on the main channel. It's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. It's 2,500 square feet, and I'm gonna take you inside and show you around. One of the great parts of this home is the lake view, and the wow factor is really having an entertainment home where you have an open concept. And so everything in this home has been opened up. And so as you walk into the kitchen here, the kitchen's been completely remodeled. Everything's been done with city permits, architectural plans, engineering plans to make sure this kitchen is completely open. And now you can see the lake in the entire home, wherever you are. Now, one thing I want to focus on is this pantry right here. This used to be a wet bar, but in 2018, a lot of people appreciate the pantry rather than the wet bar, and so that's what was done. Let's go take a look at the upstairs. One of the great things about this home is the master bedroom. There's lots of natural light, and as you can see with these big windows, you've got this panoramic view of the channel. Now, some of these homes on this lake, there's lots of arms and legs to this lake, but some of these homes on the lake have about 60 yards and then another house. This one you can see all the way down the channel, and you can see where the boat dock is, and it's a great home. Let me show you the master bathroom. The master bathroom been completely remodeled. Obviously, we got the subway tile there, and also the big window that overlooks the lake. It's a gorgeous view, as you can see. Also, we've got dual vanities here. And I'm going to take you around and show you the walk-in closet. The walk-in closet's here on the right. Obviously, this is bedroom number 1. This is the master. There are 3 additional bedrooms that are upstairs. This one on the left is being used as an office or den, but it is technically a bedroom. We also have a completely remodeled bathroom that's in the hallway, and then we have 2 additional bedrooms at the end of the house. This last one actually has an ensuite bathroom that's been completely remodeled and is gorgeous to 2018 standards, all the normal upgrades that you see in normal 2018 homes. Now we get to see the best part of the home, which is the lake, and I'm going to show you why living on the lake is such a great adventure. So my favorite part about this lake is the fact that I can stand up paddleboard, I can take a boat, I can go fishing, I can kayak. One of my favorite things to do is stand up paddleboard, which I'm going to do right now. Let's take a look. Hey Tyler, how's it going?
You're back.
I am back.
You're not going to do paddle?
You want to help with my paddle? Hey Kirsten, high five.
Hello, Bee.
Hi dear.
Hi, how'd it go?
This is my wife Christy, my son Tyler, and my daughter Kirsten, who are 4 and 6, and this is living my American dream.
Well, that's it for this episode of The American Dream. I don't know how I ended up in the studio when Craig and Tawny got to ride that thing out in Rancho Santa Fe. Either way, if you have a property that you think would be perfect for The American Dream, or you have a story that you think that we should shoot out all over the nation, we would love to hear from you. And until the next episode, I hope you keep dreaming, and thanks for stopping by.
Till you come back home.